Alright, so welcome back. Now, as I promised today, the tutorial of how to make this buildable figure from the Mandalorian. Lego used to have a lot of buildable figures, but unfortunately they stopped doing this, even though many of them looked great. Like obviously those with the faces, even Ray looks not that good, but those with the helmets, like the Stormtroopers or General Grievous, I actually have this one 3 times to build a few things with it. They look so good. They kind of switched these ones to the briquettes, um, which I don't like that much. Like have for example these ones or the Ahsoka briquette, and if you compare like these having on your desk in comparison to having a buildable figure, like I can't really think that anyone thinks that the briquettes look better. Like they have kind of the sense of a collectible item, but yeah, like I prefer these, and this is why I've made this buildable figure. And today I'll show you how. This was also pretty nostalgic. In when first the Mandalorian came out, he looked like a knight, I think, with his armor and all this stuff. And this also started in when I was pretty young. I'll come back to this later because I've made some um, yeah build ups for him that make him look like a actual knight. But now let's look at how I did it. So obviously the most important thing, you need a figure that has like the helmet, and so you need either Django or Boba Fett. Boba Fett actually doesn't have like this antenna, this thing, so you don't have to take it away. But Boba, because of the series on Disney Plus, is a lot more expensive, so I chose Django. He's like for 10 to 20 euros or dollars on eBay. Um, yeah, as you can see, I did a lot of photos to have like a comparison before and after. Okay, so what you obviously need, the jetpack I actually used, I thought about building one of them on my own, but I think in the show you actually see the jetpack of Mando, and this one in like chrome then looks like the original one in the series, so no problem. And then you need some chrome spray paint, like 10 euros on eBay, no problem, or you can get it in any store. Yeah, and then you go to spray. I'd recommend not spraying on the nature. Take some paper or something like this. Then you simply want to spray paint on it, make those parts chrome. Actually, in reality, now I have on my desk original Django figure and the Mandalorian figure, and the original gray tone doesn't look that much different than the chrome part. So you might even think of only spraying like the helmet, because the helmet obviously have blue and you don't want to have blue. But yeah, especially the jetpack and in general, it looks cooler with the chrome, because this really gives you the best color. Then after I kind of spray painted the easy parts, I had to focus on the more harder ones, like the helmet and the like where you have prints on it, because I wanted to save the prints. Obviously, you can spray over it, but then you don't have the nice prints of it, and that is why I started to cover it up with some duct tape, which took a lot of time actually, because I really wanted to have the chrome only at the gray parts and to save the prints, and that is why I really took some effort keeping those prints, and it took forever to kind of fill all these with these little things here, but eventually I got to it, and then it looked great. Like spray on all of it, and once it's dry, like really dry, I'd recommend to wait until it's really dry, because then if you touch it and it's not really dry, then you will see fingerprints on it. So yeah, wait, and then you can also easily take the duct tape away without having like glue or wet paint on it. Same thing I did with these prints. Then it looked like this. Actually, I'll talk about this later, but because I bought it used on eBay, actually those parts are way too short, and like this looks so stupid. Like this one so long and this one so short, but this is easy to adapt. If you have those parts, you can get perfect proportions. And actually now my Mandalorian figure is pretty big. And then actually I didn't want it to spray all of them, but then in the end I decided to have even those parts at the back chrome, or let's say Beskar, because it simply looks better. The hands I actually let it black. He has, I think, yellow fingers and then a blue triangle, but those I simply did with some blue duct tape on it. And then we went to the most difficult part. And this is also, I think, the most difficult thing for you to redo. Until now, it was pretty easy. And there are two options. Either you leave the antenna or the fin, no idea how to say this, and simply spray it with it. Then your Mando figure simply has, yeah, fin. It's not that problematic. But you can already see that I started carving these things away with this machine. It's from my father in his working area, and then with this it's pretty easy to carve this away. But if you don't have it, I'd be really careful. Like, I don't want you to hurt you because of this video trying to cut this off with a knife, and you are kind of slipping away and cutting in your finger. Like, be really careful to saw this away or cut it away. I think breaking it away, if you would kind of, then it wouldn't look that good. So I think that's definitely the best option, because as you can see, it already looked pretty good without the antenna, and then I went really into detail, and yeah, then more and more detail really slowly to not hurt like the gray part. Yeah. I actually also took something down from the bottom, because now, as you can see before, like the Django helmet is actually at the bottom. It has like the biggest radius, but the Mando helmet is actually thinner downwards. So I took something away downwards as well, which looks really good, I think. And then I spray painted it as well. Here you can see that I actually didn't wait it until it was fully dry, which is why there are some remainings, which wasn't that much of a problem. Like, you can simply put it into hot water. The chrome will stay. It doesn't get off at all, and so you can simply put water on it and let the remaining glue of the duct tape wet, and then you're good to go. Yeah. But it already looked pretty good. Actually, obviously, till then I had the wrong proportions of these parts. I didn't even think about it. I thought this was the original Django figure, and but I changed it. But now don't wonder that the knee part is over this, and yeah, in the end it will look good from the proportion part. Also the jetpack. Oh yeah, and I already thought about, like, this is actually pretty tricky, because obviously you have your jetpack and you want it to stick out, but you also want to have the cape of him at a decent length. Actually, it's not till the bottom. If you look in the show of Disney Plus, you'll see that it's actually just till here to his knees. I have no idea why he has this. Like, it doesn't keep him warm. It doesn't make anything. I honestly think that the creators only did this for a purpose of looks. But I actually was really happy with how this helped. Like, I think I've shown this in another video. I'll cover this. But actually, the cape, I've sticked one term around here where the head goes on, and then under this shoulder, and then above here, and then behind the back, and then the this part can click on it, and then it gives this really nice line, which is actually pretty accurate to the original Mando figure. And also from the back it looks pretty good, because as you can see here it started and then goes under here and then around here, and that is also why everywhere here we have a cape. Yeah. Also here remaining parts of the duct tape, but not that much of a glow. Obviously you want to cover this black part also with duct tape, because if not you're spray painting it, and then you have to redo it with adding. But I would recommend to do as less with the adding as possible, because once you kind of paint it on here, on the edges or anywhere, then it looks really dirty, and yeah, you don't want this. Yeah, then some photos. Actually, I did a video already uploaded at this version, but I really went on a lot. So this was the next day, and here you can actually see how the cape was made. Like, as I said, started with the hole at the head thing, and then under the shoulder, and then behind the back. And with those Q-tips, I tried to take as much of the duct tape remainings as possible. I could take all of them away. And then we came to the details. Here you can, by the way, see my fingerprints, because I didn't wait till it was fully dry. But I mean, the armor of Mando also kind of looks used and is not that super clean, so I wasn't that unhappy about it. It's okay, I think. But yeah, now I started adding the details, and first I started doing all of it with just a silver pencil, as you can see here. But this also, I tried to add this how is it called, like this yeah, thing with the horn on his nose, the I don't even know how it's called in German, but you know what I mean, like his main symbol. But this, I wasn't that happy, because you couldn't see it from even a few centimeters, meters. You couldn't see that there were details on it, and that is why I went with black. Also his iconic thing on the head. There I would recommend that you be careful, because obviously if you do something wrong or something you don't like, then you'll have to re-spray paint on it, and I don't know what too many layers of spray paint do. So take your time. So here you can see that I didn't went that straight, but I think it's okay. Yeah, more and more details. I also went, after time thinking, I simply looked at how the armor parts look, and then I added these, like that this line goes really until down here, and then you have like here an ankle and straight line and straight line like this, you'll obviously see. And those two parts down here, actually the Mando armor doesn't have these. Like here is only clothing. He doesn't have armor here, but I mean, the Lego parts need these parts, that these parts can stick on them. And I thought about taking these from the Chewbacca figure, which are brown. Then it would be more accurate. But I mean, come on, like this here has a little bit more protection. I it was pretty hilarious also in the show that from time to time, when stormtroopers, somebody else shot at Mando, he didn't get hit once, because he's not protected everywhere. Like here at his arms and legs and so on, he could easily be hit. And so like this, he has a little bit more protection. I think that's not a bad thing. Yeah. And now we come to the hot glue gun, I think it's called. Yeah, because I was already happy, because I think if Lego would bring out buildable figures to this date, they obviously would bring out the Mandalorian figure as well, and then it would look a little bit like this, pretty much like this. Like the cape would be something like this. I added a few holes. This Lego could do as well. A few cool print lines. Also the print lines on the armor parts. I could imagine that they would do it. But I wasn't happy, because you could everywhere see those Lego Bionicle Hero Factory whatever parts. And that is why I actually took but blanket for like the mattress from my mother. She allowed it, and then I cut off a lot of cloth stuff from here, and because it had the right color tone. Actually, the cape is in that color tone, and the clothing he has otherwise is a little bit lighter. So those two tones are pretty realistic. And yeah, then I simply looked at here you can also see the cape is darker, and then here is a lot of the this is also important. I decided to leave those parts. Like if for me the main person, the most iconic person wearing this armor is Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Clone Wars. Actually, it's not clones or anything. I love the Obi-Wan look when he used to have like a sword parts of the clone armor, and there especially like his elbow parts and also his knee parts. Like those parts are so iconic. I truly love them. How they fit in, also the elbow parts, how they fit into the upper arms, and this is why I definitely wanted to leave those two. I mean, realistically, in the Disney Plus show, if a stormtrooper or whatever would shoot, he would hit here, he would hit here, he would okay here, yes, and obviously his legs are like rip, so he needs protection, and also his shoes. You can see that they are brown. If you want it really accurate, then you give him brown parts. But I mean, I went with these, and I think they look fine. So no problem at all. Yeah, and then I took off everything again and thought about how I could make it the most easy way, but also the best looking way. And also, this was also important that it's still movable, because there's no point of having everywhere clothing if you can't really move it. I wouldn't play with it, but I would want to kind of adjust his position, fighting position, so that he could do some cool posing. As you can see in the videos, I want him to pose. Yeah. So, okay, so how I did it was glue gun, cutting off like 2 centimeter parts. Obviously, you have to leave those yeah, balls where you can clip on the armor parts on. You have to leave them free, obviously, and that is why you cover the connection parts till the balls. So always around 2 centimeters. Yeah, but so for example, here 2 centimeters, here a little bit, here a little bit. You'll just have to figure it out basically. And then what I did was, maybe I'll show it a little bit. Yeah, okay, I didn't show it that much. But the armor parts give stabilization, but actually they also fit without the armor parts. So what I did was, let's say I do this here. I would actually do a little tip of the glue gun, do some glue here, then I would do the start of this stripe. It's like let's say 10 centimeters times 2 centimeters, and with the longer part, so having like the 2 centimeters here and the 10 centimeters down here, I would touch with the very beginning of this stripe of the clothing with the glue gun. Then I would no idea how to say this, but wheel it around it, and then in the end adding another tip of the glue gun up and down, so that it fits like this. Like this, it was fixed. It wouldn't move, it wouldn't do anything. Obviously, it's still adjustable, but it's fixed. And then once you've done it, you add the armor piece, and then it looks great. It's fixed, and it won't go anywhere. And also important to me, it actually doesn't injure the Lego parts, because I think I'll never destroy my Mandalorian armor, but if you screw up, if you make mistakes or whatever, you want to start over again, the glue of the glue gun will cold, it will stick to the Lego, but it won't destroy it, which is important, I think. I mean, this isn't expensive, but it's still, I mean, if you're younger, then those toys might be precious to you and you don't want to really destroy them. Like spraying them, obviously you can't make this over again, but it looks cool. So yeah, and no problem with that. And then I simply went on. Um, giving more. Here I added another clothing in the end because this looked a little bit weird. So you simply look at the original. I had my laptop here and simply looked at the Mandalorian figure and tried to be as accurate as possible. Yeah, so like this, like let's say 10 centimeters times 2 or 3 centimeters, and you can always take stuff away or add stuff just as you want. And this went really well. Here you can see I really didn't realize that they were that short, but these are really long, these are really short. But actually for my brother I was allowed to take a few longer parts, and then in the end the proportions were well. But like this it already started looking pretty good, and that's also why I kept going. Always taking photos, of course, for you guys. Yeah. This was a little thick, I think. Started to look a little bit thick, so you can also make it lighter, or also kind of clips it away and then take the arm part on it, and then it's a little bit less bulky. Yeah, it looked bulky. That was what I wanted to say. Also the cape, I was pretty happy with it. I added a few holes, I think, then directly after it. Also tried always to add the jetpack on it, but yeah, simply looking at it and adding and adjusting. Yeah, this was pretty important. So you want your clothing around the belly and the carpet. Leave this thing from the Django figures so that the jetpack always fits on it. Yeah, and this, yeah, are details you add in the end when you're really done. Posing, yeah, you want your figure to be able to be movable. Here I did a few videos, also already uploaded. Yeah, cool. Here is the Obi-Wan figure, and till then this figure was actually bigger. So in comparison, when I did the first two videos, I was really confused that the feet couldn't move, because if in this constellation the feet can't move down. That is why I took the black part, and like this the leg was longer and the proportions were like and now, yeah, now Obi-Wan of my brother looks a little bit, yeah, okay. Yeah, but like this it looked even better. And as you can see, maybe I added blue paper, with a little gluing paper, like for writing news. Normally they are yellow, but they also exist in green and pink and blah. And I took one in blue, which has glue on the other side, and with this I made these triangles. And yeah, helmet. Actually, it has a little bit of blue, but you won't go that near to it to see the details. Okay, and then in the very end, last but not least, I decided to add a little accessory for him, because obviously he can't fight with his bare hands, and I thought about building his sniper. But on Google you find a few mocks of the sniper, and they look good, and so there was no point of building another one. Also, I thought about building Grogu in like this scale, but also no point. And that is why I obviously decided to build his Darksaber. First you need the black adding, and this part, I think this is the most accurate to it. Black adding, wait till it's really dry. Again, I didn't wait till it was really dry, and that is why the white adding kind of went gray first. So that's always wait a little bit. Don't be too excited. Don't rush. Actually, the same way with both addings, I also built the minifigure scale Darksaber. Simply take a samurai sword katana from Ninjago in black. You cut off the handle till this lightsaber handle fits on it, on the remaining little tip. And then you also add the white banner. I actually, oh yeah, no, this actually, yeah. This is like what I said in the beginning with the knights, pretty nostalgic for me. Like this Nexo knights, I played my whole childhood in the kindergarten with those guys, and I mean he is kind of a silver knight in a certain way. Like generally the Jedi I think is kind of a knight thing with those swords and all that stuff, and now he comes even with an armor, and I think this looks pretty cool. Like Scorpion, this would obviously look cooler if he would have his yeah, don't know how this is called, but yeah, but really happy with it. Here you can see the Django figure in comparison. Yeah, you can also add his Beskar stuff. Obviously, this is actually from the Yoda figure, huge Yoda figure. This is one long white staff. You can also spray paint this one in chrome, but it wasn't that necessary, I think. Oh yeah, and then I have another project right now. This is like a little teaser. Because as you can see, I already started building something. Ta-da! Yeah. I actually use, as I said, I have actually 3 of those buildable figure General Grievous, and with these I'll build a huge uh, thing, Mythosaurier. Yeah, pretty happy with the head, except these upper parts, but this part here looks pretty good, and I'll think what I can do. Maybe I'll upload a vlog of this as well. Yeah. Oh, and as I promised, obviously, you'll also get the instructions of this one. Actually, 3K views. This is also already massive. I definitely upload another video with instructions, bricklink, link, and all this stuff before we get Mandalorian season 3. Obviously, this is a lot of time, a lot of work, so I won't rush, and I also have to adjust a few things because I used a few building techniques which are kind of illegal, which aren't that stable to rebuild. I also ordered the original Lego N1 Starfighter now for I think 60 bucks. And also another helmet from Mandalorian, like the buildable one, because it has a few cool Beskar parts, which I'll also use on my UCS version. Yeah, but this is how you get a little, or the bigger brother of the Django figure. Really happy with it, like the blue triangle. I didn't edit the yellow fingers, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Then I'm happy to hear some feedback about it. Don't be too excited about the instructions for the UCS version of the N1 fighter. I'll do it. It will take a while, but till then, have a good day. Have fun with rebuilding it. It looks great here on my desk. Honestly, I'm happy that I did it. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye bye.